Bosho, Kidakana and Disnakas, Mokuan Dodam, no credit, don't ba, Mituzagi, go to Win, Snabe Queen Dow. Hi, my name is Nancy Rowe. I'm from the Anishinaabe Nation. I come from the reservation of New Credit. Well, I think those land acknowledgements, I have teachings around that, but I think what it is today is it's seen as an act of reconciliation. So in part, in my opinion, it's bringing in the marginalized people of the land, and it's also bringing in the people of the land, because nobody thinks about today about the people of the land. And when I say that, I'm not saying that in a past tense. I'm saying that where people are occupying and conducting their work and living is some indigenous groups' land. And I think people have forgotten that because it was written out of history for whatever reasons it was written out. And so to me, when I think about the land acknowledgement at that level, that's an act of reconciliation and remembering. Yeah, so there are different ways, and I never ever mention traditional territory, because I think that when we mention traditional territory, it sounds like something of the past. And people need to understand that Indigenous people right across Canada still hold full right and title to their lands. And so this is not something of the past. We still hold rights, hunting, fishing, harvesting, rights to our land and our water. And when we say traditional territory, we're making that something of the past. It's stuck in the past. Well, the Anishinaabe used to be here. Well, that's not true, because we're still here. The term that I was gifted to use by an elder was to use the term ancestral lands. And that is the truth. If you're in the area in our ancestral lands, you are in Anishinaabe territory. You are specifically in the home of the Mississaugas, and you need to know that the descendants of those people are still here. You're on my grandfather's land. The reason you're on my grandfather's land is because my grandfather and your grandfathers made agreements for us to mutually benefit from the sharing of the land. And I think a lot of people don't know that. I am a direct descendant of the Mississaugas of the Credit River. My grandson is a direct descendant of the Mississaugas of the Credit River, and a direct descendant of the Six Nations. And my grandson has a full right to be able to enjoy his land. That's why his grandfathers made those agreements, so that land would always be there for us. Somebody else had different plans and different ideas, but I will always hold fast to. I carry the bloodline of the people of that land. Just to sum it all up, is that we are the right holders of the land. That in my mind is more important than being a stakeholder. And I take my rights to our land very seriously. And what that looks like can be simple. That can be as simple as me having unfettered access to the Credit River. That can be simple when people understand that we are right holders. That can be simple. We can start to be respected. We can start to be understood. We can start to be honored as the caretakers of those lands that people are living in for millennia. For millennia, we utilize that land and we call that land our home. The original agreements with treaty made between the British or the Dutch or the French grandfathers and the Anishinaabe grandfathers, what we need to be doing to honor first is taking care of that land. So if I'm having problems accessing my land, I expect that the people, and I trust that the people who are out there are caring for that land in a good way. Whether that's just your backyard and some cedar trees that you're taking care of, that's great. Reconciliation and what people can actually do is at very many levels. So what can you do as an individual? What can I do within as a teacher, what can I do to promote reconciliation? Well, the first thing you can do is educate yourself. Educate yourself about the truth. Find out the history of that land. Educate yourself. Become aware of that history of that land. And then the second thing you can do is to share the truth. To share that with the new students, to share that with your teachers, share that with your principals, share that out. Help us spread the truth about the land. The other things that you can do, I really believe in Indigenous paradigm, which starts with relationships. Build a relationship with your local First Nation and community members.